All right, let's dive into a really fascinating puzzle that messes with a lot of what we think we know about dieting: carbohydrates. We're about to unpack some pretty surprising science that totally challenges one of the biggest rules in the book when it comes to weight gain.
So here's the big question. Can you actually gain weight without eating more? I mean, that sounds completely impossible, doesn't it? For decades, the mantra has been calories in, calories out. Simple. But what if it's not the whole story? What if the kind of calorie you eat is just as important, maybe even more so, than how many you eat?
Well, this is where it gets interesting. A study from Osaka Metropolitan University dropped a bombshell. They found that mice started gaining weight and body fat just by eating refined carbs, get this, even when their total calorie intake didn't really go up. It's a total paradox, right? So let's break down how they figured this out.
Okay, so the experiment itself was pretty straightforward, but so revealing. They gave these mice a choice: their normal, healthy, balanced food, or simple stuff like bread and flour. And you know what? The mice went straight for the refined carbs. They absolutely loved them, pretty much ignoring their healthier chow. And the result was pretty stark. They gained a significant amount of weight and body fat.
And this quote from the researchers really just hits the nail on the head. This is the core of the mystery we're talking about. They point out that weight gain happened without a big jump in calories. So this isn't about just mindlessly overeating. No, something much more complex is happening inside the body.
So to really get what's going on, we have to introduce a new idea. We need to stop just counting carbs and start thinking about something called carbohydrate quality. Basically, this idea shifts our focus away from just the numbers and toward the actual effect these carbs have on our metabolism, the instructions they're sending to our body.
And this pyramid here, this is a great way to visualize it. It's called the Carbohydrate Quality Index. Think of it like a handy little guide. Up at the top, you've got the good stuff, the high-quality carbs like whole grains. And as you go down the pyramid, the quality drops, and you get into the territory of refined grains and free sugars. It's a fantastic roadmap for understanding the real difference between carbs.
So, what's the big difference? It all comes down to processing. See, a whole grain is the complete package. You've got the bran, which is packed with fiber, the germ, which has all the vitamins and good fats, and then the starchy part, the endosperm. But when you refine it, you strip away the two best parts, the bran and the germ, and you're left with basically just starch. You're not just changing the food a little, you're changing it fundamentally.
And you can see the impact of that right here in the numbers. Look at this. Refining wheat flour literally slashes the fiber content by about 75%. That's a massive difference. And not missing fiber? That is a huge piece of this whole puzzle.
Which, of course, brings us right back to our main question. If those mice weren't eating a ton more calories, how in the world did these low-fiber, refined carbs make them gain weight? Well, the answer isn't in the what, it's in the how their bodies reacted to that food. It's like a chain reaction, a four-step process. First, you eat those refined carbs. That tells your body to slow down its metabolic engine. You start burning less energy. At the same time, your liver gets a signal to start turning all that extra sugar into fat. So you've got this 1-2 punch. Your metabolism is slowing down while your fat production is ramping up. It is the perfect storm for gaining weight.
And here you have it straight from the scientists themselves. The weight gain wasn't about overeating. It happened because the mice were burning less energy. Their metabolism literally slowed down. The kind of food they ate completely changed their body's entire energy budget.
And let's just talk about the liver for a second, because this is wild. Your liver can literally become a fat-making factory when it gets flooded with simple sugars. And this can happen even if your total body weight isn't really going up. It's a stealthy process that starts on the inside. So, what can you do with all this information? How can you use it? Well, here's a super simple, practical rule of thumb you can use. It's called the 10-to-1 ratio. When you're looking at a nutrition label, just check this out. For every 10 grams of total carbohydrates, you want to see at least 1 gram of fiber. It's a really quick and easy quality check you can do right there in the grocery aisle. So, let's wrap this all up. The big takeaway here is that food is so much more than just fuel. It's information. Low-quality carbs send a message to your body that says, hey, slow down and store some fat. But high-quality, fiber-rich carbs send a totally different message, one that supports a healthier metabolism. It's pretty clear that our food choices are way more than just a numbers game. Which leaves us with this final thought to chew on. If the quality of the calories we eat can fundamentally change how our body burns energy and stores fat, does that old calories in, calories out idea really tell the whole story? It seems like the truth might be a whole lot more interesting than that.